is created by our habits, but as humans we tend to crave simplicity and convenience, and implementing habits can be really difficult. So I wanted to share with you 10 ultra easy micro habits that you can add into your life to give it that little bit of an oomph. Number 1, you've probably heard this before everywhere: drink a glass of water upon waking up. The reason that this is said everywhere is because it's such a good habit to have. When you wake up, your body's dehydrated, you've had your fasting period while you've been sleeping. It's time for you to hydrate yourself. A glass of water upon waking up, mwah. And it starts the day off right, making sure you're getting a good amount of water throughout the day. And after I have my water, I try to wait a little bit before I have coffee. This actually came because I went through a little rut of being very, very low energy, and I didn't understand what was going on. I was drinking 3 coffees a day and still feeling like I had absolutely no energy to do anything. So I stripped it back and took out the caffeine just to see the kind of effect it had on me. And it turns out that actually not drinking coffee was better for my energy levels than drinking coffee. So now I just have a coffee when I really feel like I need a boost. That would happen around noon, and then after that I don't really have any more. Sometimes I miss the ritual of having a coffee, just that taste, so I'll just make myself a decaf. But I don't obsess over this. If I'm waking up at 5 to edit and I'm feeling really tired and I just really need a boost, I'll have a coffee. If I'm going to the gym in the morning, I'll probably have a pre-workout which contains caffeine. It's just more of a thing of being mindful of when I'm having my caffeine. Otherwise I just become resistant to it, and then I just feel completely drained the whole day. The second thing is don't let things compound. 5 minutes in the morning to clean up, 5 minutes in the evening to tidy up. I need a clear space to have a clear mind, and I'm also the type of person that because I'm in a rush to do other things, I just kind of leave things lying around, and that just takes its toll on my mental energy. So if I spend just 5 minutes in the evening putting things away, 5 minutes in the morning clearing anything that I might have missed, I start fresh and I end fresh, and a clean environment is a clean mind. Next, floss. I mean this both literally and metaphorically. I'm quite surprised at how many people have admitted that they don't floss. I have to admit that there was a period where I was using one of those water flossers and it just was not doing it for me, and I hated it. And then my dentist taught me that I was actually flossing wrong. So you're supposed to be going into the gums. I always just went in between the teeth, and yes, I touched the gums, but I didn't go deep into it. Now apparently that is where the plaque builds up in your gums, so you should be going deep into your gums. I didn't know this. I don't know if I'm the only person on earth that didn't know how to floss properly, but I'm telling you now, take care of your teeth, floss properly. But when I say floss, I also mean it in a metaphorical sense for all the premeditative measures that you can take to protect yourself and your body and your health, so that you don't have to deal with the consequences of not doing those things later down the line, when it's going to be much more expensive, much more detrimental to your health, and just a compounded consequence of not doing them early. So that also includes things like stretching. Just make sure that you're taking care of yourself in the little ways so that you don't have to deal with them later on. On the subject of teeth, make sure that you're drinking hot drinks and fizzy drinks as much as possible through a straw to protect your teeth and don't get stains or just sugar inside your teeth. Protect your teeth, really. This one's a really important one. It's to build trust within yourself. Do the things that you've told yourself that you're going to do. Keep yourself accountable to them. Every single time that you tell yourself you're going to do something and then you don't do it, you are losing trust within yourself. By doing the things that you've set yourself out to do, that you've promised yourself you're going to do, you're saying to yourself, I am this person. This is who I am. I am capable of doing those things, and I'm not a liar. I do the things that I've told myself I'm going to do. And that kind of confidence propels you forward and gives you momentum to keep doing other things in your life. Probably the biggest way that you're going to do this, and maybe the most important decision of your day, is whether or not you snooze your alarm. In that moment, you have told yourself the night before, this is the time I'm going to wake up. If you don't wake up at that time, only you know that you haven't done that. But how you show up for yourself in that moment is how you're going to show up for everything throughout the day. So saying that, don't lower your standards, don't snooze your alarm. Also, to help you gain traction throughout your day and to reduce friction, at night or first thing in the morning, write down a list of your main goals for the day. One of them should be the thing that if you do this, you'll consider that you've had a successful day. So it's your biggest task. And the second thing is 1 or 2 goals that would make it a better day if you do them. Doing this at night helps clear your mind and get you to sleep. I know that that's the effect it's had on me. And doing this in the morning gives you peace and intention for your day. And while you're doing these tasks, ask yourself, how can I make this task more fun, more enjoyable? Because at the end of the day, that's what we want, right? We want to make sure that every moment that we're living is a good one. So if you're doing something and you think that it's absolutely just the worst thing, the most boring thing in the world, ask yourself in that moment, what could I be doing right now to make this better? And then do it. Get up and walk every hour. Be mindful of how much time you're spending sitting down. My work revolves around a computer screen, and then when I get home, I'm editing. So about 80% of my time is spent sitting down, unfortunately. I try to make sure I'm getting up at least once every hour, even if it's just to make myself a cup of tea or coffee or go to the toilet. Think of your body like a car. Once in a while, it needs its engine started to let the oil run through. You've probably heard by now that we are a fiber deficient society. In general, we are not getting the amount of fiber we should be having. So a little micro habit to help that is just incorporating an extra piece of fruit or vegetable within every meal. And if you want to go one step further and you're an adventurous person, I know some people don't really like to venture out with food, but I'm an explorative. I like to explore with food. I'm not scared. I like new textures. I like new tastes. I just like trying new things. So next time you're in the supermarket, pick up one fruit or vegetable that you've never tried before or that you've never seen before. Find out how to make a meal with it and go for it. Turn it into a little game. And you find out what you like and what you don't like. You find out more about yourself. This is a win-win for everyone. I've started doing this a lot more recently, and it's taking note of every win. Small, big, every win, and congratulating yourself verbally aloud for them. If I've completed a task that I just really didn't want to do and I got it out the way, good job. You know what? Good job. You did good, baby. Congratulate yourself out loud for your wins, because why wouldn't you? What is really stopping you? And it gives you confidence to keep going and doing other things, right? I don't know how many people know about this feature, but I have just recently found out, embarrassingly late, about this. You can use the focus feature on your phone to create a work focus that is personalized for your own workflow. So you can decide what apps stay in and what apps don't stay in, and whether you receive notifications from them. And it basically just allows your phone to look as if it's a work phone. It's crazy, and I don't know why I didn't know that. I don't know how that works on an Android, but that has definitely helped me just concentrate and not get distracted, because every time that a notification pops up on my phone, my attention just goes, and that's no good. I've started being a little bit more spontaneous with the way that I make decisions, because I find that if I rest in a decision for too long, I just talk myself out of it, and that's no way to live life. So nowadays I'm taking a lot more action as soon as ideas come to me. In fact, this video is filmed like that. If I'm feeling inspired, I'll just sit down and get on with it, because otherwise I will just talk myself out of the idea or come up with reasons why not to do it. And you know what? That's the amygdala's job, to protect you. But it's also our job to make sure that we are not letting our minds keep us in our comfort zones and in a safe space. So if I'm feeling inspired or I've had an idea and I'm like, you know what, this is good, I take 10 seconds, I breathe, and then I do it. As long as you're not actually putting yourself in physical danger, please and thank you. And this one's for the ladies. Once a day, when you're showering or when you're moisturizing, just take a second to check up and feel your boobs a little bit. Get familiar with them, make sure that there's no lumps popping up out of nowhere. Again, we need to make sure that we're premeditative about this. And one last thing that I thought I'd share with you is, I don't know if anyone else gets this, but because I spend a lot of my days listening to podcasts, editing, listening to music, watching things, my senses can get very overwhelmed to the point of irritation sometimes. So towards the end of the day, I do some tasks in complete silence, and I call it my sensory bath. So while I'm washing the dishes or driving or having a shower, I just sit in complete silence, just me and my thoughts, without any sort of music or anything going on in the background. And it just helps give me a moment of peace and ground me, really. It's interesting because these are the moments where I most often get inspiration or reminders of things that I've obviously been too busy going throughout my day to even think about. So these moments are just so precious and so important to me. And I'm calling this a micro habit because it is something that you can add at any point during your day. It can be your 5-minute drive to the gym, or your 15-minute washing the dishes session, or your half an hour shower. You can make it as long or as short as you want it to be. So yeah, I thought that'd be useful for you. And those are it. Those are my micro habits. I hope that you can at least take one of them into your day, because they're just such tiny little things that can make such a big difference and just give your life that little bit of, you know, reinvigoration. Let me know in the comments below if you do any of these already and which ones have had the biggest impact on your life. And also add below any that I should include in my routine because, you know, I like a little micro habit. If you found any of this information useful, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and check out this video coming up because I have a feeling that you're going to enjoy that one as well. I'll see you there.